In terms of fundamentals today, we had the Bank of England very, very dovish. 2 of the 9 members voted to keep rates the same. As I mentioned in the Discord, to briefly just show you, where is it? There it is. Tenreo and Dringa, if I'm saying that correctly, says that the 3% bank rate is more than enough to bring inflation down. Looking at, let me just get it out. There it is. Looking at that, 7 of the 9 members obviously voted to hike rates, which they did by 50 basis points, taking their rates to 3.5%. I am currently in pound yen, but just to reference cable being the biggest pound mover across the board. I see pound yen on my right hand side of there is starting to make a move, but in particular cable GBP USD, your biggest mover of the day, because you had that firm dollar, right? Dollar approaching, we're making an attempt at 105, and you do have a risk off scenario. This was following a hawkish Fed yesterday, and yeah, you know, following Powell's remarks, I think it's important for us to know that he stands by his actions. He stands by the fact that no rate cuts will be made in 2023. So that simply means, excuse me, that simply means we are going to be at above, you know, 4%, 4.5%, possibly 5% next year on Federal Reserve interest rates, which is going to be totally destroying for risk. We have seen the likes of oil pop up into that $77 a barrel region, which I have been waiting for quite some time now. I do expect oil off from this price, so definitely looking out for some shorts on that one. Tomorrow is my last trading day of the year. Hopefully pound yen follows through. It's currently, well, instead of me looking there, let me get it up. Yeah, currently at roughly 168. I got 2 orders on this. One at 168, which is quite stupid of me. I was quite busy, but there was no reason for me to have a sell limit. I expected a bigger move. In all fairness, I expected what we saw on cable, which have been fantastic to round my year off. But seeing as we did have that firm dollar yen back at the highs, euro yen through the roof, and I'll get to euro in a second, this has weighted on pound yen. This has kept pound yen where it is. We did have an attempt straight into the high, which I had that level marked on, straight into a fib area at 78.6 region, and the market is still hovering around you. I'd like to hold this overnight into tomorrow morning's session, but I don't see myself executing anything else. I think if I can get like a nice little 100 pip move on this, back to the lows, 167, I'm happy. I'm happy. One of my positions pretty much break even right now. The other one is from 168.20, 168.21, roughly around there. So about 20 pips on one, break even on the other. However, yeah, unfortunately, we chose the wrong pound. Pound dollar cable would have been our perfect bet. Do excuse me. But yeah, pound yen was my bet. The reason being, I set out at the start of December with 3 positions, Aussie, dollar CAD, and pound yen. And just looking at that, we have obviously beautifully executed this position. And I'm glad we've seen that pop up simply for educational purposes, to show you that once you're in a position and you do see some profit, you got to lock that in, right? You got to lock it in because anything can happen. Hence, this reversal on dollar CAD and the Aussie as well. Aussie's crumbled, you know, back to where we were buying initially. So I'm happy if I have to look at this whole frame, right? I'm happy within this whole frame. We managed to extract money from the market, and the market happens to be back where it was when we were first buying. This does not mean I'm buying. This simply means I'm done. And simply shows us that we've got to extract profit from the market when the market gives us the profit. So pound yen, yeah, to summarize on that one, I'd love 167. ECB, super hawkish ECB. The ECB rose interest rates by, 50 basis points as expected. Christine Lagarde did, however, sorry, bit of a sore throat there. I think I'm getting sick again. Christine Lagarde did reiterate that, you know, anyone that thinks the ECB are going to pivot, meaning start cutting interest rates, is mistaken. And that super hawkish tone followed through. Euro yen being the biggest mover, up almost 200 pips at one point today at the high. Euro dollar whipsaw price action purely because you have that firm dollar, right? You got that firm dollar sending euro lower, and there again, a purely big risk-off day. Dow down 2.6%, gold down 280 pips today. Looking at that daily, you wouldn't have really caught this based on the prior trading day. So yeah, possible gold shorts tomorrow if we do have a bit of a correction in the morning. Silver 3% off the highs there as well. Bitcoin beautifully into my 18K level that I had drawn on. I have been, and I'm glad I took some money off on Bitcoin around 17,950. So I missed like $50 on my original target of what I actually cashed out on, but I'm glad I took money off of the table there again. Why I do this is simply, if I have to put that money back into Bitcoin right now, I will have made a profit, if that makes sense. So I'm not necessarily physically trading. I've made an oath to myself to not trade my holdings again. This is purely because, you know, I've made mistakes in the past with my holdings, especially XRP, and I would day trade futures. And, you know, it's all good and well. At some times or at some points, I was doing 20, 30,000 XRP per position, right? And that's great when it's in a profit, but, you know, it's not fun when you get liquidated. And that has happened to me. It's not nice. So what I do now is I exchange the token for a higher price, at a higher price, should the market drop, and I put that money back in. I have then, you know, generated more tokens essentially for free, right? By simply just using risk to then my advantage. But I think that's pretty much it for me. Nothing really to write home about. We know pound yen's been extremely, extremely slow. I'd like 167. Cable, biggest mover in the majors, still melting 240 pips on the day. Pretty gutted we missed that one, if I'm honest. And then your dollar approaching more than likely 105 at the end of the day. And yeah, this is a hawkish Fed, a hawkish ECB, slightly dovish Bank of England, but we still got to take it for face value. That is still a very, very strong interest rate hike. But guys and girls, that's it for me. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. If you're still watching, thank you. And have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye-bye.